This, I understand, could be attributed to the use of marijuana. It causes errors in time, space.
And we are live. Thank you for joining us on Talking High Culture.
Why aren't children's songs less child? Like they should definitely have the Migos do children's.
I think they did. That's what Kids Bop is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Kids Bop.
I ride the bus.
No,
I
we ride the bus. We ride the bus. We ride the bus. He got his text back, and it's probably A minus. Thank you for joining us on Talking High Culture. It is another Wednesday. We are live talking about all things cannabis and cannabis culture. We absolutely love weed here. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with a bong rip. Let's go ahead. We will have a dab coming up as far as our first actual segment, but I need some weed in me. I need some tree in me. That's what we here. We're here to smoke some dope. DOAP dope. Doap. Some green dog dope, some real
Foreign.
it is very foreign. We got some green dog dope, high quality exotics. Now some Zol.
We got the Zazol, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know if there are any issues with the chat, any issues with the audio. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this video. We appreciate everybody who's joining us so far, who has joined us before, and whoever will join us. We are smoking the good weed, the devil's lettuce, the God's gift, the ganja, marijuana. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Logan did me a huge favor moments before we went live.
Why is this liquid with the hidden leaves?
Oh, that's cool. He cleaned my bong. So you guys have seen for multiple weeks over that my bong was getting pretty nasty. He got some 420 cleaner. They're not sponsored the video, but we do appreciate that product. 420 cleaner kicks ass. I stick with isopropyl alcohol and some rock salt. And while that is my go-to cleaning method, I cannot deny the efficiency of the 420 cleaner because I saw Logan just use like a small amount of it, and it got it this clean.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Small one?
Yeah, dude.
Usually when I get that, I'll use that.
You don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to. Yeah, you only need a really small bit that I just found out by.
2.5, maybe 3 ounces.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it was only $10, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna clean hella well.
Yeah.
So all good stuff. Let's go ahead and get started with that.
The downstem, I've never seen it.
Because of how dirty it's been.
I've never seen that. In all these, we've been smoking your fucking bong and doing this. I've never known that. That is crazy.
The brand of this downstem is I think it's Phoenix. No, Knockout. Knockout Glass. I'm pretty sure they're popular.
Amongst a whole bunch of different smokers.
Could you imagine someone flexing their fucking downstem?
Yo, check this downstem, bro.
Just saying, like
I got this knockout.
Downstem stem glass. No one has. No, there are heavy glass users that
This downstem was hand forged by this glass monk in Indonesia.
Do you even know where Indonesia?
Up in the Himalayas.
Are you up on your geography? Are you up on your geography?
It's like the airbender Monkey Gyatso made this shit.
Monkey Yatsu.
What you know about Tenzin? What you know about Tenzin Gyatso?
What you know about the last airbender? Aang, Katara,
Sokka, Zuko, Appa. Yo, Appa's the goat. No, the best character in the whole show is fucking Momo.
No,
the lemur.
Oh, Momo. Yeah, Momo. I love Momo.
Especially the noises he makes. Always has his own little theme song every time he pops up.
Sokka names a little
Sucker.
Sokka names a little animal that he finds one time that he's stuck in a hole. What does he call it?
Oh, me. Or something. Yeah, it was like a little moose thing.
It's like poof poof or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, it was something like that.
It's something hella funny, bro. And he names it, and like me and my sister always used to fucking say that shit, bro.
I agree that Momo is probably the goat character in the original Avatar. My favorite episode of the Avatar is the one where they have it's actually the 3 episodes in one, right? Where they go through Momo's perspective while Appa's missing, right?
Don't hit my feels like that.
Yeah,
You fucking hit me, my feels. There's 2 million in the pot for that.
where go through Momo's perspective looking for Appa, right?
Sad.
The second one is Uncle Iroh with the son, right?
From the mind.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, actually no, that's the third one. That's what it ends on. Right?
Comes marching.
Man, that one hits.
And they balance it out with the third one being Katara and Toph having their girls' day. I think that's actually how it starts. Is they start off with that, and then like really kind of going into a wholesome lesson about like appreciating life without being able to see.
Zooming.
Yeah, there's a whole zoom. There's a zoom.
Yeah, they're like,
That is crazy.
that's why I've been doing content. I've been fucking making zoom and shit.
Honestly, bro, I really felt like that show was just it did a lot. Like, and it really explored a lot of different like episode arcs and different things.
A lot of touchy subjects, like
Yeah.
real deep with some of the drama.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed that shit. It was the one of the only shows that me and my sister watched the entirety of one summer because they were playing it on Nickelodeon, accurate to the episodes,
Mhm.
and leading up to the season finale that of the Avatar: Last Airbender, where the fucking Fire King Ozai
Yeah.
or whatever.
So you basically got to like binge watch it like in the
Yeah.
early way, yeah.
On TV though,
TV,
yeah,
yeah.
like not fucking streaming it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the good old days. We have to actually like wait for the new episodes to drop. Like, all right, it comes out fucking
Yeah.
8 p.m. Friday night. Like, what's that? It's like you know when time the rerun is.
Exactly.
What I think separated Avatar amongst other cartoons on Nickelodeon was that it really allowed it to take itself seriously and mature as it went on.
Yeah.
The first season is very childlike because Aang is a child and he's denying his responsibilities to the world, right? And by the last season, he's like, okay, this is responsibility. This is what it means for my position and who I am. And as kids are watching that, between 8 and 12 years old or between 12 and 15 years old, whatever that range is, they they identify with those feelings, that not wanting to take responsibility and just wanting to be a kid, but then having to actually take some responsibility for shit.
Bro,
You know.
I want to be like Toph, be a metal bender, or do one of the forgotten or forbidden ones like blood bending.
Yo, if I would be over on that. I'd be such a fucking monster. I'd be a menace.
Yeah.
If like bending was real like that. Like,
'Cause, I mean, it is kind of a mix of water and earth if you think about it, iron and water.
actually, yeah, I wonder if an earthbender could have the potential to bloodbend because of those small trace amounts of iron in the blood. Because
Yeah.
if you look at something like fucking X-Men, the one I think it was
Magneto.
X2, where Mystique injects the guy with extra like iron, and he's able to extract it out of his blood.
So
He's extracting the iron. He's not extracting the.
No, but
Yeah.
but the fact you can separate it. So I wonder if an earthbender would be able to be like, oh, like you have iron in your blood, so I can
Because-
control your muscles.
so in the Avatar, they explain bloodbending as only through water, like that's how they explain it, right? That's how it's seen there. But that doesn't mean that what you're saying can't also be present in there. Like there could possibly be a type of bloodbending in which the earthbender realizes, oh, there's this type of rock or this type of material, there's this type of dust.
Yeah.
In
But that's the same thing with like an airbender could potentially lightning bend.
oxygen deprivation. Yeah.
No, but
In the blood.
well, yeah, an airbender probably could, but an airbender probably could also like lightning bend. If you think about, because if they can manipulate the air
Yes.
currents, they can manipulate the static in the
Yes.
air currents.
Yes, I
And the
would say
electrons in the air current by just like, oh, they can sense like, oh, there's a storm brewing up there. Let me circle around those air particles and everything, like concentrate and get them agitated, and then like I'll call down a lightning strike, like, you know what I mean?
When you start thinking of it like this, like fire bending is probably the most one-dimensional like bending thing
100%.
because air, water, and earth you can go way more directions.
Oh, airbending!
Fire is literally like,
be
wow.
devastated.
It's like-
They just create circles around people's heads and just cut them off from air.
firebending.
Suffocate them all day.
Firebending is the most like straightforward one, but I also think that it has just the most destructive potential, right? Like it's just outright sheer power. That one's the strongest, just sheer power, right?
Yeah, for just raw destructive energy.
Yeah, raw destructive energy. And then
Palpatine was probably a fucking firebender.
Yeah.
He was fucking channeling the lightning.
what you said about that means the airbenders could basically do lightning. I very much believe that because essentially airbending is just like creating wind essentially, and in order to create wind, well, wind is created through changes in pressure, right? High pressure and low pressure in the atmosphere. So like
Like you could be making hurricanes.
yeah, in theory, if you can control the wind or just air, right, what you're really controlling is pressure.
Yeah.
Right. And then if you learn how to apply pressure, like you could be like, you could just have a power where you literally bring people to their feet because you put so much pressure in the air above them, pushing them down, right? That the air is
Essentially,
so
you're
heavy.
mimicking gravity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, that's my favorite like concept of taking the airbenders powers to like some of its furthest extremes is like just absolute pressure down.
And this is what happens when you get a bunch of stoners talking about some of their favorite shows. We go in depth and we analyze them because we're high as hell. And we like the shows, and our high thoughts just keep leading us down these rabbit holes.
We're such nerds. Let's be nerds about cannabis.
Like, chat, tell us some of your favorite, like, stoner nerd shows to watch that you love watching or that, like, you just go real in depth with.
Yeah, we all hate it. All right. So we have to thank Mr. Lavish Alucard,
Ye lavish?
the Dracula himself. Can I say his name?
Yeah.
Mr. Brady. Thank you so much
Just
for
straight doxing you.
for allowing us to use this Puffco pivot that Logan is currently getting ready for a dab right now.
Puffco pivot.
A Puffco pivot. Can I see the unit really quick?
Would you mind explaining, going a little bit more in depth on the Puffco pivot there, my friend? I have not heard of the pivot yet. So this is the first.
Man. So what we got here,
sexy, cylindrical.
Logan's loading this up, but what we have here is a Puffco pivot. Man.
I thought it was a lipstick container when I first walked in. Not gonna lie, everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Parker whining. I don't know if he's been getting a little,
Yeah.
weird.
A little weird.
You gotta check on them dogs. They got that dog in them. Bow wow wow bitty oh bitty hey, bow wow bitty oh bitty hey.
Shortly before the podcast, we were just kind of going over the instructions so that way we weren't completely in the blind about doing dabs on it with him.
They were not that clear.
They were not that clear. They had absolutely no words, but we'll get into that. We'll go ahead and just quickly describe. You turn this button on, right? You click that once to cycle through different heat settings for low, medium, low to high. There are 4 heat settings from low to high, and you press this button to cycle through them. You double click it to select that heat, all right, and then that'll preheat the dab for it. Obviously, before you do any of that, you load it in with the wax, right? We'll get into that in a second. Right?
I hope it wasn't too much. I don't think it is.
Don't be a bitch. Just take the dab and die.
It looks like a lightsaber.
Yo, that's a lightsaber.
So now,
Oh, that's literally just a battery with a button built into the battery.
dude, yeah, and where it's
You have to hold it up straight. You have to hold the unit up straight. You don't want to like tilt it, right? Because you don't want the dab to come.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
it's not on.
This man trying to dry dab
He was telling me
over here.
I'm sorry. I was doing a dry dab. So the type of rosin that we put in there was supposed to have more of a like a papaya terpene profile, right?
I was like, what are you doing? I was like, what is he doing?
So we turned on the unit by holding it once, right? We cycled through the heat settings. There we go, and it's on. Um, we'll see here. Like, I double click it, or I click it once to cycle through the heat. I think I click it once to cycle through the heat. I think green will be fine, so I'll double click it there. It's gonna preheat. I want to say it's like about 10 seconds. Let me keep it up right.
Yeah, I think once the meter fills, and then it'll give haptic feedback.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Yep.
There's a pearl in there that it spins around in order to collect a lot of airflow for the concentrate to go through the mouthpiece um, and give you a nice balanced dab.
My bad. My wheels is getting a little caught, right? Well,
Vibrate when it's done.
so the oil thing vibrates when it's done.
Keep it up right there. It might not feel like you're getting anything. It's the end for you.
Yeah, there we go. No, I think it turned off when the marker.
Oh,
So I was seeing if there was still any residual. Those what, twice?
Yeah. So he's gonna load up a whole new dab for Chris. The side, and he was like,
How
over
much
here,
is in
like-
there? Because if there's still stuff in there, I'll just hit it. Waste not, want not. Oh, there's like nothing in there.
yeah, exactly.
You see, this man's thing kind of fucking blind. All I see is a little ball. With a dazzle. For interest-free payments of $32.50 with Sizzle. Sizzle with Sizzle.
You want to give it the ad read?
All right. So, according to Puffco, looks like this comes in two different colors up at the top. And then it says the pivot puts the full Puffco experience in your pocket. The same size as a pen, this discreet mobile vaporizer features a quick release 3D chamber that delivers premium flavor and real time temperature control. With a light bar that serves as a visual dab timer, haptic feedback, a single button interface, and 4 dialed heat presets, the pivot is a true dab you can take anywhere. Low profile, high performance.
Damn, Chris. Sheesh.
This is a fucking man.
Yeah. If I didn't have it right here, I'd want to buy it right now.
I didn't have hang right.
Hire me to read all your ads, everybody. I can do it real good.
Puffco has a.
What? Look at the motherfucker. Did you see the? Wait. All right, we gotta talk. Sorry, Marco.
Yeah, yeah.
We gotta talk about their little ad videos right here. Some of these things are so fucking dumb. Like, all right, that one looks realistic. The basic bitch. The horseback riding one is wild. You know, on the beach, I get it, but oh, is it gonna show this?
Yeah.
The carrying case looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. But look at the dude in the background, looking like a straight cuck on his own vape. Like he's being cucked on his own fucking dab. You know what I mean? He's just,
Where's that attachment? Did we get that?
oh, for the
No.
bong. The bong attachment looks pretty interesting. But the dude with the beard is just sitting there, like in the corner in the shadows, watching his friend like hit this vape. He's just like watch when it comes back right now. Look at that motherfucker! Like you see what I mean? Like he's sitting there just. He's like,
damn.
yeah,
like
that's right.
like a cut.
Inhale that. Inhale it just like that. Yeah.
That's all you done.
Get stoned. Get high.
Stop. Keep it up. I don't know. Wait for it to vibrate again. It's low enough. Or it's like a.
There we go.
Shot more, keep going.
Okay.
Hear that marble?
Hit that
Better hear that marble. Oh shit!
It's gonna go.
Oh fuck! You might not be able to see that. That was a pretty big dab, ladies and gents. That is a cool attachment. I can see why that attachment is cool. Oh shit! Oh, I think it's almost done.
Now it is. Now it is. Yeah.
All that last it. Fuck. God damn.
Yeah, that one was moving on the top right there.
So let's go ahead and give a quick rundown of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it rips.
It's got a 3D heated chamber. Well, I mean, I hope so. I hope it's real.
3Ds?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's got up to 15 dabs per charge on the USB-C.
It's weird that they actually limit it to the amount of dabs. That's interesting. That's something I haven't seen before.
Here they show that travel case that was in there. I'm trying to scroll.
Oh,
through
there's
stuff.
the adapter.
Oh, the glass adapter is $60. I mean, I'll get that.
I feel like you could just read something yourself for a cheap.
You probably could, but that's not.
All you need to do is just get you can do that with PVC.
It's got 4 heat settings.
Gaskets. You can do it myself for $20 or less. Rubber gaskets.
It's got 4 heat settings and real-time temp control. Yeah, we saw that. And that's all that it has for key features. They have the accessories that we went over. They have a glass adapter. They have
Oh, so you get extra chambers.
yeah, have it preloaded with the dab.
I don't think you'd have to preload.
A hot knife.
You can just use the stove for that.
Yeah.
Or you just take your lighter with you.
Exactly. All the hot knife.
Yeah.
You don't need that hot knife.
They do have attachments for batteries. Have you seen those?
Really?
You can put it on top of a 510 battery and make it in.
Oh shit, that's actually not sick.
That's
I'd say there's more.
Ben had one. And I was like, no, what the fuck?
Oh,
God damn.
I've got to get us back to
Don't really know. He's just a
Daphne said, "You're dang Chris is fighting for his life with his last hit."
What up?
You know how it goes. Thank you for joining us, Daphne. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with everyone you know, because this is where it's going to be happening. This is the new platform.
Damn, that hurt my stomach.
This is where it's popping, where Logan's knee is popping, where my elbows are popping, and Chris's back is popping.
This fool pops his back every time he does abs.
Yeah. And it's good. It feels good after I hop.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good for me. I promise.
after I pop one off.
Oh my gosh.
Feels good after I pop.
After I pop, it feels good.
What is it?
I pop every morning. It's a thing I just do.
Before I even get out of bed,
I pop. I get up, I pop again. Damn, you're popping that many
I
times,
take
bro?
a shower.
What does pop mean to you? What's this pop mean different thing to you than me? I don't understand.
I don't understand. I snap.
I don't understand. This English I don't understand. Tell me simple way. I don't understand this.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Snap, crackle.
Crispies.
Yo, y'all stimming right now.
Dude, that weed got me fucking stimming. Oh my god.
They're saying weed. It was literally rosin.
It is weed. I mean, it's rosin got me.
Wow.
It's
It's
weed
marijuana.
juice. It's weed juice.
All right, let's jump right into the article because otherwise I'm gonna get fucking
Sidetracks.
Boom.
MarijuanaMoment.net. The top selling video game title on Steam is a cheeky nod to America's war on drugs. Marijuana Moment.
Stop. A cheap.
Our friend Ben Adland yet again.
Yeah.
Released late last month, a new video game making it out big as an illegal drug dealer has climbed the charts on Steam and currently sits atop the platform's list of top sellers. Its title, Schedule 1, is a cheeky nod to America's drug war. The game's online description leads with the federal government's definition of Schedule 1 substances under the Controlled Substances Act as drugs with no currently accepted medical use and high potential for abuse. So it's named after that in particular.
I'll read the next part. Ad ends in 0.
Americans view marijuana as significantly less dangerous than cigarettes, alcohol, and opioids, according to a new poll. The survey assessed the public opinion on the dangers and addictiveness of 6 substances and technology. For marijuana, 38% considered it very or somewhat unsafe. And in comparison, cigarettes, 84%, alcohol, 64%, prescription opioids, 66%, non prescription opioids, 75%, and vapes 76% were deemed far more unsafe. The technology was considered safer than marijuana, with only 23% labeling it as very or somewhat unsafe. And additionally, 64% believe cannabis could be addictive, a lower percentage than for any other category, including technology.
Habit
Yeah.
really addictive.
Yeah, I think that's a better way of saying it. Now that doesn't.
Because the addiction would be like to buy
Mhm.
at that point. Like, whereas you can go without smoking for a while, and like, yeah, you want it, but it's not like your body's having any reactions to it. Whereas everything else that's actually like addictive, your body will have some type of like withdrawal from it.
Yeah.
You know, even caffeine.
It is interesting to think about
You know,
the withdrawals from weed, how they affect your eating habits sometimes, and or your sleeping.
I mean, maybe eating and sleeping habits I can agree on,
Mhm.
but like ultimately, it's not like you're gonna sit there and like you're gonna be getting headaches and shit like that. Your body's really gonna be going crazy or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'll just kind of want to and be a little irritable, but that's what you were before you started smoking weed,
Mhm.
essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you're a chill guy, you're a chill guy.
Yeah. So, though there's a pending federal action to reschedule marijuana, the drug features prominently in the game. But players can also manufacture and sell other substances in the game, such as meth, as they work to build a drug empire from the ground up.
I actually think that's kind of cool. It's like, yeah, okay, hey, you start off with weed, but like you can do other shit too. Yeah.
You can get your brick of coke or your meth if you want.
So, Schedule 1 is the latest game in a long series of popular video games involving illegal drug selling, from the text based drug wars of the 1980s to today's massive Grand Theft Auto franchise. Schedule 1, which sells for $20, has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam and is number one among top selling games. It's currently available as an early access game with further modifications and installments expected to be added over the next 2 years. You're a small time drug dealer rolling into a fresh town with no cash, no product, and no connections. The game's Steam description says build your drug empire from the ground up in the grungy West Coast city of Highland Point. Contend against intensifying law enforcement and deadly cartel competitors to expand your empire and reach the peak of the underworld.
I'm so down with this. This is so sick.
Yeah, I actually kind of really want to play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm trimming my weed right now.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were growing. It's like, well, it's actually like on my PC.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of like a 24 right now.
Yeah, I really got to get back to my turf war. It's really important that I get back to it, actually. As for how long marijuana will retain its Schedule 1 status, a process to move to a process to move the substance to Schedule 3 begun under the Biden administration is still ongoing. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, has no action planned on marijuana reform, according to a recent report. Some are nevertheless optimistic. Former Rep. Matt Gaetz, for example, President Donald Trump's first pick for U.S. Attorney General before he withdrew from consideration, recently said meaningful marijuana reform is on the horizon under Trump, praising the president's leadership in supporting rescheduling.
Okay, so while that's one person's very positive statement about it, um, just want to just throw it out there. We should not support anything that Representative Matt Gates says. This man is a child trafficker. Point and simple.
But you're gonna have the best weed.
Yeah.
We're gonna grow the best. It's gonna be the best crops. Everyone's gonna be real stoned.
We sell the best
It's gonna be a
children.
great time. It'll be so chill.
We sell the best children over state lines.
We'll have the children sell the weed. It'll be fine.
Over state lines. It'll be cheap.
It'll be every.
We'll make money. We're good.
It'll bring jobs. It'll boost the economy. You'll have mom and pop shops again.
They're taking child jobs. In an op-ed published by the Tampa Bay Times last week, Gates said that the moving cannabis from Schedule 3 won't solve every problem overnight, but it is necessary in the right direction. It's like when the worst person in the world you know actually has a point.
It's like Hitler saying this.
Yeah, exactly. He expressed the confidence that Trump will bring about that reform. For far too long, cannabis has been classified alongside heroin and LSD, substances with no accepted medical use and high potential for abuse. The former lawmaker wrote in the op ed. This classification has severely hindered research, blocked access for patients, including millions of veterans, and burdened legitimate businesses with unnecessary regulations. It's like what every politician tries to do on their way out. They're like, no, yeah, we should make weed good. We should make weed legal. Like it's like the cop out.
That's for the next administration. See ya.
Pretty much, right?
See ya.
I'm gonna skip that, and then we're gonna go. But the current administrative process is delayed, with Drug Enforcement Administration judge proposed.
Bye.
To the DEA judge.
With the DEA judge postponing hearings on the proposal near the end of Biden's term amid complications related to selected witnesses. That included questions about whether DEA leadership actually supported the proposed rule, despite the agency's role in the proponent of the policy. Adding to the uncertainty around the fate of rescheduling proposal, Trump's nominee to lead DEA, Terrence Cole, has previously voiced concerns about the dangers of marijuana and linked its use to higher suicide risk among youth.
Kill themselves if they're smoking a blunt.
Okay, so
If they're taking a bong rip and be like, fuck, I need it.
uh, I will say that there is a little bit of truth to that because I did see a study that for those people who smoke weed before their prefrontal lobe is fully developed, right, it can lead to yeah, I mean, it can lead to emotional distress disorders that are linked to emotional distress and, and emotional variability. So high levels of anxiety and things like that. So it's there's not unfoundedness at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it all makes sense.
Yeah. At the same time, there is usually seen as a relaxer in most cases. It's just like kind of like a very specific set of circumstances that would cause it to be a catalyst for those other things. Right?
I thought I was a deck of cards the first time I smoked marijuana.
I thought you were a deck of cards the second time.
It's actually a little funny.
As-
I thought you were a deck of cards too.
We're not decks.
Were we smoking deck of cards?
We smoking Jack of Diamonds.
Is that why it's called deck of cards?
That's insane. As for video games, meanwhile, a recent New York Times report says culture within the National Hockey League is changing, with players increasing opting for marijuana and video games over alcohol and.
That's a fucking lie. That is a lie.
We're gonna watch a trailer of the reschedule, right? Just to kind of see what it is. I have the volume turned
Full
on.
screen it.
Full screen. Oh, but it's gonna mess up the ratio of knowing that. Just watch it like that. I like the character. Yeah,
Rick and
it's like
Morty.
very Rick and Morty vibes.
Oh, now he has a jacket. Oh, now he got sunglasses.
You get a little mask.
I mean, it
got a
is really
cowboy.
rudimentary, but it still looks fun.
Yeah. They're gonna have that a VR version of this, not far from now.
This is so sick.
Yeah.
That is so sick. I'm down with that. Heavy.
Yeah. Actually, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I kind of wish it showed a little bit more, like you know what I mean?
Do you wish it showed more something like a little more skin?
Like,
Oh. You were wishing that it was showing some ankle, because that's what you were wishing for.
oh my sucks.
Always down for some ankle.
Hey,
I see that calf. Yeah.
that calf.
I need to fucking turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone.
Oh, is that what it is? I think that's what it is.
It's the first time we've gotten this notice since we've had Ethernet plug in. Sorry, ladies and gents. Our bad.
Hopefully the stream wasn't down too bad, and hopefully all the audio went through just fine. Thank you for everyone who's with us right now. Thank you for everyone who's been with us before, and thank you for everyone who's been with us, who will ever be with us.
And thank you for everyone who's with us right now.
Thank you for some support.
And thank you for everyone who's with us right now.
We smoking some more weed. When are we only smoke so much more weed? Yeah, we only got Willie High. Willie.
We all we got Willie high. Are you about to put some sluggers into the bowl?
Yeah.
In my bowl, yeah. Not that makes any difference, bro.
No.
You were. I am how I am.
He doesn't want certain weed in his bowl.
I are who I are.
The way.
The way.
We are who we are.
It's a fuck. What is it? We are.
We are
The youth of the nation. We are. Yeah.
youth of the nation. Good POD.
Honestly, it does go hard. When I was just
Really?
12 years in the
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even know if that's how it goes. But
What
I'm
was,
an
what was
idiot.
their other one? Didn't they have like one other like real big song? Or is that or is that like oh
Dude, you don't know any songs. You don't know music.
I don't know POD.
I know POC. That's postulous ovarian cancer.
What the fuck?
He almost spit the
Oh,
bomb. He almost spit the bomb. Postulous ovarian cancer. POC.
It's there's the meme where she goes, I'm afraid I might have POC. The response is like, what, you don't like black people?
I might have Christian color.
Wait, what's another one of those? What's another one of those jokes that fuck? There's always those types of jokes where it's like, you know about this, and be like, huh? You did what? Like the Piston Cup. He did
Yeah.
what in his cup?
He's racing for the Piston Cup. He did what?
In his cup. I did what in his cup?
Throw some cheese on it.
Cheese, give me my hamburger.
You know what that makes me think of?
Cheese, fish.
That song's about cheese. You're crumbelievable. When the cheese craft crumble cheese, when it was literally just it was crumbles like craft crumbles, but it was literally just like rips off of a block of cheese. That's all it was. It was just ripped up pieces of a block of cheese. So they were just trying to like sell that as it was something gnarly. God damn.
Chris, I think you just like fucked us up.
Bruce Lee kicks, bro. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry.
My bad.
Yo, that was insane.
That was like literally insane. That was the most insane thing I've ever witnessed. And I've witnessed a lot of insane.
I think that kid's old now. And then
Oh, he has to be.
you think that kid's old now. Interesting. Interesting statement, Logan.
Yeah, aren't you old now?
Interesting statement.
Yeah.
Oh, and you.
People be looking at your football highlights and they'll be like, damn, I think that kid's old now.
I'm still like, I'm still like 17.
Internally? Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, you definitely don't. How you
I'm 19.
Yeah, like as I'm saying, you're pulling off the Keanu Reeves thing, so you can't really tell how old you are. Keep it that way.
Doing my best.
You gotta eat a lot of lotion.
Who's passing right now?
Yeah, neither do I. I used to.
Once in a while, maybe, but I don't really do
Ah, you guys gotta use lotion, dog. Yeah.
It is good to stay moisturized.
You gotta stay hydrated. Thank you for joining us on Talking High Culture, where we stay hydrated using lotion. Let us know your favorite type of lotion in the comics, please and thank you. Well,
So, let's get into some nerd talk.
Stoner.
Let's get into some more nerd talk, ladies and
Oh,
gents.
I got something. So,
Because, how dare you interrupt me? as
I got nerd talk for you. I got nerd
Soundtrack.
talk for you. All right, I got you. All right, I got you. I got you. Before the podcast, I asked Logan, all right, do good guys kill?
Yes.
No.
It's a philosophical question.
It's necessary. No, right. So you watched the latest season of Invincible, right?
Yeah.
Remember what Cecil said?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Oh, I don't know. Like, wait.
He said, you could be the good guy or you could be the guy who saves the world.
Oh, yeah.
And that inherently means that, yeah, good guys don't kill. Like having upholding your morals and stuff like that as a character, that's like, oh, in every single superhero, like, oh yeah, they don't kill. That's what makes them the hero, right? But in order to actually save the world from the troubles that are out there, in order to actually make effective differences, maybe death is necessary. Maybe extreme violence may be necessary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And in that
exactly.
case, you are
Exactly.
no longer
The good guy.
hero. You
Yeah,
are
the
no
hero.
longer the good guy.
Oh, in my mind, that still would be because
And-
ultimately I'm doing what's right to keep people
Yeah,
protected.
and that is
That's the definition of being good.
No.
It's being trying like
Your definition.
trying to save everyone and do that. That's like trying to be immoral. That's trying to be like moral
Yes.
perfection.
yes, and
Which
that's what good
perfection
is. No.
is supposed to be an unachievable aspect.
Listen, moral goodness when it's come as like what heroes strive to be, which is why anytime they do kill in comics, anytime that a hero does do that, it's seen as this big deal, right? And the reason why it's seen as this big deal is because in the idealism of what is good, to kill is not good, right? It may be necessary in the grand scheme of things. It may be smart. It may be good for your plan. But as far as for morals and what is good versus evil, it is not, right? Your one action, your one evil action, killing one person, may be better than what they do, than the harm that they could. And 100%, I agree on that sentiment. But that still means that it is not the good thing. It is the smart thing, it is the plan thing, it's the right thing, sure, but not the morally good thing.
So riddle me this real quick. Why would it be considered more good to leave someone that's like a monster that's going to escape over and over again and
The
constantly
Joker.
kill people
The Joker.
and do everything? Not even just that. There's countless stories of like all types of heroes in comics where villains are just getting put away or something and they're not being finished off and they come back and they create more and more damage. So in my mind, it's more evil and more of a burden ultimately in the grand scheme of things to allow something like that to exist when you know it's going to keep killing and harming more people. So in a sense, you're allowing this person to continue to you're essentially in control of oh, it comes off as like, oh, every now I'm going to put this person away because I know they'll get out again. They'll kill a few people. We could probably use some space. And then I'll take them back again.
Hey, how about
You know
this?
what I mean? Like,
How about this?
I
Hey,
feel
listen,
like that's more irresponsible and morally wrong and morally irresponsible to allow someone like that that's going to just continue a cycle of insanity.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's insanity, so to
But
speak.
get
You're
this.
doing the same thing, expecting a better result, a
Get
different
this.
result every time, but nothing changes.
Do you think it ends with that one person? Do you think evil ends with that one person?
After a while, there would be a lesson taught.
No.
So yes.
No, it isn't, bro. You're crazy.
After a while,
You're
there would be a lesson taught.
You're absolutely.
You consider you consider yourself someone like Superman. You don't kill unjustly or just randomly. Like it has to be an extreme punishment.
Crime still happens. Crime still happens.
Like okay,
Superman.
you're a hero during the time of you're a superhero during the time of World War II. You don't just try to go directly take out Hitler off the bat. You try to sit there and want to capture him or something. No, you kill the fucking leader because of what he's done, the atrocities he's causing. You cut the head off the snake, and the rest of the body fucking dies.
That there's no
This ain't no
argument
mythical
that
Hydra shit.
there's no argument that is the absolute smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
What any like actual rational person would be like, yeah, that's going to be what's necessary. You do that, right? But in the terms of what's classified as morally good, killing is not, and that's the bottom line of it, right? So no matter which way, like yes, your one evil action of killing may be the lesser of the two evils in terms of whatever evil they may potentially cause.
But
Absolutely.
killing has been justified before, even in certain religions.
Justified.
It's not always morally wrong,
But
it's not morally wrong.
Yeah.
It depends on what the crime was. That's the point of what I'm saying too. Depending, like, it's not just killing because
think of
they're
the word
an evil
justification.
person. Because there's plenty of times throughout every religious history where it's been allowed and okay, where it's like, no, this is what needs to be done.
Think of the
This
word.
person needs to be killed.
Think of
This
the word
person needs to be killed,
justification.
or sacrifice.
Look. You're
AKA
right.
still killed.
Think of the word
know?
justification. To make right. because it was previously wrong. We are saying that in this instance, this is the right thing to do because we already collectively know it's the wrong thing to do. That's why they justify the killing of the person. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like no matter what, like the killing of the person is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, I think the quandary of do you want to be the hero? Do you want to be the one that saves the world? Is the mind question right there because exactly are you gonna want to have to kill people? Or are you gonna want to stick to your morals and go about it that way? You know what I mean? Have to figure out which way to maneuver around having to do
Which way are you
that.
to choose? Because we already know
Oh.
Right. So my view on it is one, it's like the Hydra. If you fucking chop one head off, there's gonna be more heads, and there's no making an example out of killing people. No, there isn't. That's an absolute.
There's ways.
Bro, you can't. You're just gonna kill everyone.
No, you just make if you can do one or two killings, you just responsible shown. That's the point.
That is very unlikely. Chris is. If you can't hear Chris, he's saying that.
Oh, it's very sadistic. But I'm not gonna say that won't do something, right? That will obviously instill some fear.
Mhm.
And fear is the tactic of the bad.
He's
Fear is the tactic of the dark.
Guys, no, because good guys use scared as well. Look at motherfuckers like Batman.
not.
They see the bat signal and they get scared and they run off because like, oh shit,
They're
Batman's here. So there's good guys, heroes.
But they don't go to. But they don't go.
Batman
Sorry.
specifically
Okay.
uses fear.
The fear
know what I
of
mean?
the fear of death, right? Because the way that Batman uses fear in his comic books, right, is like I give them something to be more afraid of death. That's why I don't kill them, right? It's because I want them to be afraid of me.
That's why you don't. I'm not saying that. I feel like that.
But that is what you're saying. But
that type of fear would happen if you do like you go on a killing spree. If you kill just like some real terrorist, like someone like that was like the Joker, and it's just like, hey, you know what, like this is the type of shit where it's like, oh no, this is crossing the line.
Yeah.
Why that's crossing the line, but like
Batman never.
honestly, I feel because
Batman break his rules?
because
He deals with the world.
because he doesn't want to, and I don't agree. That's why I don't agree with Batman.
But what is he labeled as? The good guy or the bad guy?
I mean, majority of the time a good guy.
Yeah, he's labeled as the good guy.
Yeah.
Collectively, that's like the.
But also, you can kind of label him as a little bit of a bad guy to a degree.
Yeah, and
Because otherwise, why is he coming up with contingency plans to take out every hero?
That's a good
You know what I
point.
mean? Someone who is just straight good guy would not have that, even if they had the knowledge to do it. They wouldn't make those plans and actually have them ready to be active, because that's not to me. That's not necessarily
Well, you're not in a world where people can be mind read and their mind controlled and something like that, and use their and use their bodies against you. You know what I mean? So that's where the contingency plans comes in, even against himself for those exact purposes.
So as far as what I think is appropriate, right, where I would take it is I think that there is a line of the moment that you cross, like I referenced Invincible, the moment that you kill, you are no longer the good guy. But if you are to save the world, I am to take the stance that you are there are certain measures that need to be taken, right? But I am
hero and good guy. Right?
yeah, but exactly right. Well, no. Hero and good guy are the same, but the guy that
No. I agree. Good guy and hero.
maybe that is the right thing.
You can still be a hero, but and if it's deemed absolutely necessary,
The justification.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're that's they're gonna destroy the planet if I let them go. We won't be able to contain them. We won't be able to keep them from ever letting them do this again. They will get out. I already know that. Or if it's already happened before.
A hero.
Okay. So just really quick, I do agree. Now I will track my statement that having that differential, there is a difference between the hero and a good guy, because again, the hero is the guy that saves the world, and the good guy is just the one that doesn't kill, the one that has limitations, right? That has the discipline, and you have to balance between the two, right? But at the end of the day, what the world needs is somebody who can put the iron fist down when it's necessary.
Yeah, and even if it's not necessarily, even if it's not necessarily like killing someone, like even if you like sit there and like you like, it doesn't have to necessarily be killing, but you can be brutal about it, and still have a person live. Like say, like you know how to like exactly another invincible example. Like you just learn how to like snap a neck just right and like just paralyze someone for the rest of their life.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you do shit like that, even that's like still kind of brutal. Makes a point, be like, hey, you know, look what like this is what could happen. Like imagine how much worse this could get.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want to have to do this. Like, it's not like you go out there and make an example. Like, yeah, look what I can do if you do this. Like, you still making a point to be like, hey, like, I don't want to allow this anymore. Like, but like
You said
further measures could be taken, like if I need to be pushed, but I don't
I
want to have to
think
do that.
I think the distinction to make between like a hero and a good guy is a hero is that war torn veteran that's been through a lot, had a lot of kills, did stuff for whoever, his country, a boss, whatever, and did what he had to do and is a hero somewhere to somebody. But he had to do things against people in order to become said hero. Whereas good guy is always going to be good guy amongst everybody because he has to be that. He is the setting the example. He could never stoop low. At least the character has to be, you know, that person. It doesn't have to be the actual person he is, but the character has to be the hero or the good guy, I should say.
And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but just having you describe it that way, isn't that like the struggle of man,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like the struggle of being like the good guy, the guy that's like, yeah, man, I'm cool, I'm chill, I'm relaxed. And the guy that saves the world, the guy that like, hey, no, but shit has to get done. Like I have to get this done. Like I can't just fuck around. Like I gotta be on my shit.
yeah,
And it's balancing those two is like, yeah, like the duality of man.
yeah.
I would say.
Trying to figure out if you should do something for the greater good or to do something that's morally in line with your values.
Mhm.
Kill one to save the many.
Yeah, and what's in line with your values. My
You
values
know what I mean?
are
Kill one to save millions.
it would be hypocritical of me to say that I could like kill somebody because it's justified. Seeing how I never really kill anything, I can't just be like, "Yo, just because you did this, you deserve to die." Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, killing somebody like Hitler would be a good idea, but it
So would you kill the Joker?
exactly, which is it begs that question. It's like,
yeah, hold on.
Because I for sure would have killed that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Especially
Yeah.
after like if I didn't kill him before, I would have definitely killed him after what he did to fucking was it Tim Drake who turned into a Red Hood?
Let me ask him a very specific
Being
question.
oh, fuck.
Okay. So the Joker is chained up, and you have a gun, right? And you have the ability to kill the Joker for all the crimes that you have known that he has ever committed, right? Batman's not going to stop you. Nobody's going to stop you, right? Nobody even has to know. Are you killing him?
No. I can't say that my first thought was to pull the trigger because anybody who wants to kill them, you're asking that, and then boom, they're even thinking that, bam, it's going off. Like if there's even like a, yeah, I'm probably not doing that.
Oh, I'm unloading.
Yeah, man.
I think one bullet is enough, and a second bullet to make sure.
And I don't think
Always double tap.
I personally don't think that what I was saying about like having a character as the hero, where when Batman, he doesn't let that step. He still knows he's a man. He still has these moral values, which is why he doesn't kill. He doesn't let his character become too more than him. He doesn't let Batman become this thing that he can't control because he has to follow these certain rules or stay in line this certain way. He still has certain judgments as he has to make as a moral human being dude that has values.
Yeah, I think that's good. He has a lot of control over this.
Exactly. And in situations where he, you know, it could be very beneficial for him to just kill somebody to stop something from happening, you know? But And it's always you look at it, and the best way to look at it, I just think is you can't stop something from happening. It's gonna be inevitable. You're delaying it. You know what I mean? You're not gonna cut the fuck. You're not gonna kill the dragon. It's just gonna go 3 more heads. You know what I mean? There's no stopping it. You can't beat out a fucking bad from
So
existence.
is Batman's contingency plans wrong then? Because you said you can't just wait for shit to happen. Like, or is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you can't like kill bad. You can't kill like bad things from happening. You can't to make an example out of killing all villains, thinking that no villains or no bad will ever happen again.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Then you become the villain in the sense.
So that's not
Mhm.
that sentiment is you don't see that sentiment being applied through the circumstances of a contingency plan. Like you don't think of somebody like Batman doing a contingency plan is that like preventing bad things from happening. I guess not. It's like in the case that bad things do happen, huh?
What about instead of just keeping him prisoner or killing him, like literally you turn them into vegetables, whether it's like you're paralyzing them physically or like using chemical induced like comas. You know what I mean?
You start thinking about
Like, because then at that point, at least they're still alive. It's you're not killing someone, but you're essentially putting them down and be like, well, hey, they're too much of a problem. Like they need to at least like not be able to, have the chance to escape and be like able to do anything like this.
at the end of the day, what is the driving factor behind not wanting to kill somebody? You know what I mean? Like, what is the moral quandary? Yeah, to preserve life and stuff, but like,
Oh, I mean, I mean, but there is also I don't know. Sometimes the world can get a little overpopulated, so
So in we're still keeping it nerd talk. In a certain comic run, Reed Richards and the Council of Reeds, all the different Mr. Fantastics, they go through a bunch of different multiverses, and in all the ones where Doom is absolutely like power crazy, where Doctor Doom is absolutely like power crazy, they go through and they lobotomize each and every single one of those Dooms, and they just imprison them. So it's like a whole, like hundreds of Dooms in the basement, just lobotomized, just going Doom, 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 Doom. Right? The worst versions of Doom, right? Um, so that way they don't kill him, right? But they don't kill them, right? But they are not effectively a living person anymore.
they're eliminating the problem.
Yeah, they eliminated the
They're
problem.
eliminating the problem without killing somebody.
Yes, right. Without
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I could fuck with. Yeah,
I
get
think
behind that.
that, but that's still that does bring up the question, like Logan said, is like, what are you really supposed to be preserving when you are preventing someone from death, when you're keeping them alive? And why do we keep someone alive?
Especially if it's an evil person.
Especially if it's an
I don't feel like you're preserving anything.
yeah.
That's why I feel like if it's an evil person, why bother keeping them alive? Why not eliminate evil? Wouldn't that be morally good to eliminate evil from the world?
like, yeah, where did that
You
come?
know?
I think it was like in general, like that idea came for like, yeah, a hero would never want to kill. You know what I mean? But where does that sentiment come from? It comes from some type of like letting God do that, letting the creator do that, letting whoever take that instead of you putting that in your own hands. I feel
People
like
want
that's probably where it came from. That sentiment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Preserving life, not
people want like to look. People want to have something that they can look at as an example to strive for. So like, oh my God, that person's so perfect. He's so strong, has all this responsibility, but like, doesn't abuse the power. Like, does all that. Like, I want to be like that. Like, that's how I want to be in my life, is be as strong as I can. But, be responsible about all like
That
my
motivation.
potential.
Mm.
It's. I feel like that's more what it comes from, like being like the good guy.
Yeah.
Just inspiring. It's not necessarily like saying morals, but inspiring people to just want to do better. Whereas the hero just gets looked at as like, oh my God, you're the savior. Like, I don't know if I could do what you do, but like, I'm so grateful and thankful for you. You know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't be here without you. Like, we probably would have died without you.
Yeah, to be the good guy, there's a certain level of like that moral righteousness that has to be just at face value, just applied. Like that's ingrained in it. In Guardians of the Galaxy, the most recent one, right? The volume 3, I think it was. Rocket Raccoon. There's a part where he's like dying, right? And
Oh yeah, that's actually sad as shit.
yeah, he's dying, and he sees his former friend who helped him escape, right? and she tells him something like, "All gas, no brakes," hitting that like button and then hitting the Zope from Lumpy State.
Hey, let's go, all guys.
Oh, from right?
Down. Do it.
Dope and Zope, Zope and dope.
Zope dope, rope a dope, bope a dope. Hit him, folks.
So Rocket Raccoon, he's about to die, and he sees his otter friend, and she tells him, um, "There are the hands that make us, and then there are the hands that guide us." Right? And I think that's the huge differentiating factor as far as like when it comes to the moral upstandingness of what makes the hero good is that they're, like you said, they're just naturally driven by that sense of good, by that sense of doing right. I think is how you put it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it in terms of what's the opposite of killing, keeping somebody alive is the opposite of that. So, ever wanting to kill, which is like the ultimate bad, if you think of it like that, is the ultimate good is always keeping somebody alive no matter what. So,
And that's why like the heroes in comic books, the good guys in comic books are the ones that are usually rescuing people from a disaster first, before they engage in any kind of like fighting a villain or whatever, right? In fact, I think every hero origin story usually starts off with some type of saving from a natural disaster type. Not every, but like a lot of them usually involve saving from a natural disaster type incident, and then in the events of that natural disaster type incident, they there's one bystander that gets affected by it negatively, and then they usually become that person's first villain and arch nemesis.
I think it's an interesting thing to think about in this conversation about how anti-heroes play into this whole conversation because, like, they have killed people, are willing to, definitely down to kill people, but like the Punisher, like Black Adam,
Deadpool.
Deadpool, fucking Deathstroke,
Yeah.
Venom, yeah, Venom.
Yeah, Venom.
They fall into these villainous habits, but then they come up on some type of philosophical quandary, which they have to then navigate in some certain way, which usually you see in movies like with Venom or with Black Adam. They end up having to become the anti-hero and having to do some type of good as being the bad guy. So it's interesting to fit all that with that conversation that we just had. Um, I don't think it changes anything about an anti-hero if they decide to do good once or twice. You know what I mean? They're not. I wouldn't even really consider them a hero. I just consider that like a side job. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go as far as to call them heroes or good guys. I would
That's why they're. That's why the term anti-hero is supposed to be like in between.
exactly, but interesting to think of them having those mental quandaries and having to like go against what they do normally to be like, oh, I gotta fucking save some people for the greater scheme of things, I guess.
Yeah, but honestly, there's a lot of anti-heroes I do generally agree with a lot of the ideology behind some of them because it's not like they're specifically going out of their way to do bad, but they're also not going out of their way to do good either. Like they're literally just trying to kind of like get by in life and they live by like what they believe, and it's like a lot of times it's people that are like kind of like
Just trying to get by.
they're either like people like mercenaries or they're like a royalty like defending like their own country. Like, hey, like like fucking the Namor dude from
Oh,
Wakanda,
yeah.
the Atlantis dude. Like, hey, he's like he'll help them out and stuff, but like he was, but at the same time, like if his place was threatened, he's like, hey, like my country comes first. And,
Yeah.
like I'll fuck anyone up, like, and I'll do anything for them. Like
Same thing with Black Panther.
I'll go out and take out another country if I feel like they're threatening me. I don't care. But like, if someone came and like if it was a threat to like him and them too, like he'd be willing to be like, oh, like I got you guys.
With
Or or
with-
like they're just a mercenary and like, hey, I just take jobs.
with
Literally like fucking Deathstroke and them. Like I just do this because I like to do this. I'm good at it. I don't care what it is because I'm just getting paid.
with Venom, I think being one of the actual um poster childs of what an anti-hero like is. I think the way that they've been handling his most recent comic run and how they've been going through like this whole redemption arc of turning Venom into this like, yeah, Venom is the Spider-Man that kills essentially, or the Spider-Man that's willing to do the things that Spider-Man isn't willing to do, right? In terms of just his overall vibe and what you can like lay out as the aesthetics at face value, he started off as Eddie Brock. Like, dude, Eddie Brock is just a dude that was trying to get by, and he kind of felt like screwed over by Peter Parker, and he those small bits of anger manifested into large bits of anger when the Venom symbiote attached to his body, and then it just became evil and aggressiveness from there on moving forward, and then what that was like maybe 80s to 90s is when they introduced Venom, probably, right? So you have like almost 30 years later where they're putting this character through like a redemption arc and trying to make this character seem like as uh hero and has godlike powers and
Well, he's become between different hosts though.
yeah,
Different hosts like effect.
yeah, that's true too.
Eddie Brock.
Flash, Gordon, Flash Thompson.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, Flash Thompson was another host.
It's the same with Moon Knight. If you didn't know that.
Yeah.
What couple of different hosts.
I fucking Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's crazy.
Ben, thank you for joining us, Ben.
Moon Knight's like an anti.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think one of his hosts is like Psycho and like more gnarly. One of the gnarlier like Moon Knights.
Yeah. Well, especially the one guy that has the multiple machines. So
Yeah.
he's the one. He's the one that's just like like a mercenary, like a
Here's another
killer
one.
or some shit.
Here's another crazy question that had me and Marco going earlier. So when you think of super speed, you think you know what superposition is? Like when it comes to quantum computing and shit like that.
No, what do you mean?
So superposition is when you're doing binary stuff. Binary deals with zeros.
Yeah,
and
0 1
ones.
0 0 1.
So superposition is the ability to be a 0 and a 1 at the same time.
Okay.
So basically, you're both. You're essentially in two places at once if you put it in layman's terms.
Yeah.
Or you're doing two things. You're two beings at once essentially. So super speed, you can get into superposition, meaning you could be two places at once because of how fast you could go. And then me and Marco got into the conversation of
I've never seen that ability displayed.
okay, so the Flash does it in a comic.
I've seen like the after images and shit like that where it
Yeah.
looks like they're in multiple places, but only one of the bodies is actually physical.
Okay, that's interesting. I haven't seen
It's
that.
like an after image, but like it seems, but like there's one body that's always like a little bit more physical because it's like kind of like going back and forth.
Yeah. I've never actually seen the superposition thing. I just think it was like a good hero theory or
Yeah.
interesting concept. And
Yes.
but the Flash did do a thing where Batman needed something to go down, and Flash was vibrated fast enough to create a portal in time or some shit. Like
Oh yeah. He tricked the other like a different Flash or something like that into
Something.
doing it because he didn't want
exactly.
his Flash to age
Exactly.
and die like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a Flash did do it.
Yeah.
It was the faster Flash who did it, who ended up dying.
I don't think he was actually faster.
Oh yeah.
I-
Yeah. But
He just didn't want his own Flash.
exactly.
Yeah.
But he has gone fast enough to create like a portal. So
yeah, and go back in time and
So,
like yeah.
you know, it's kind of not hard
That's
to
why
beg the question. He can.
Superman's been able to go fast enough to turn the Earth backwards and like reset the Earth's rotation before.
Yeah. She said Chris needs his. I'm like, I know. I wish we had 3.
We're getting there. No, we keep switching.
We're doing good.
Yeah, I feel like we've actually been on part of it tonight.
Yeah. That I love that concept though of the superposition.
Yeah, that'd be interesting for sure.
Because yeah, being
But essentially at that point, it's like almost like you can just clone yourself.
and then that kind of like what's teleporting at that point? Because if you move really fast, then teleporting is obviously leaving space and then appearing somewhere else.
Teleporting is a whole different concept than super speed because that's literally
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing because you're going to get to the same place
Yeah.
regardless. But it depends on what could be faster though too.
Well,
Because on the strength, because depending on the type of speedster, the teleportation might be a touch faster because it's a little bit more instantaneous, rather than the super speed might be like a couple milliseconds or something like that, like behind.
Yeah. If you're so he made a
Because
point.
especially depending on the like, if you can just sit there
I
and like
thought of that.
blink yourself and teleport, you could just be there a lot quicker. But if you have to like oh, like, oh, I have to fucking like tear open a portal and then fucking, or like you have to Doctor Strange, like, oh, I have to do this and then do it. Like the speedster is probably going to be a little bit faster.
If you have super speed, you more than likely have a perception of time that is slower than everybody else's, right? Depending on how fast you are.
maybe, and also how you
Yeah.
how you control and how it
Yeah.
works. Because if you're not using your super speed at the moment, everything could still be regular.
Yeah. Depending on how depending on how fast you are, right? Assuming the fastest is that you move in the blink of an eye at the same speed it would be to teleport to somebody with an equal ability for them to teleport. So just imagining that both situations are the exact same speed, right? The speedster has to move through physical space, but it's slower in their perception,
Yeah.
right?
Like they have to worry about actual terrain and stuff. Whereas like they could misstep. Like say you're challenging them to like, all right, who's gonna get to the top of this mountain?
Yeah.
The speedster could fuck up and then hit the wrong step on a mountain and then completely like misjudge, or like they have to find a path. They can't necessarily just go straight.
I think he's
They
trying to.
do have to like zigzag a little bit, which might give that couple milliseconds of an edge to someone that could just fucking be like,
He's
Yeah.
trying to bring in the interesting subject of physical things in this sense, because as a speedster, you're having to run, but then like when you're going that fast, things around you like are obviously
or moving slower.
moving slower, but and your interaction with those things is completely different.
Like you're essentially cutting through time.
Exactly. Whereas a fucking teleport is you don't have to interact with any of
Yeah, you're
those
cutting
things.
through time and space.
Exactly. And it's crazy to think yet your interaction with those things going at a certain speed can affect things or affect you, the travel, all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, teleport is kind of a cheat through that. It's almost like a wormhole,
Yeah.
like I would say. And yeah, I don't think teleporting works on like a distance thing. It's just you're here and you're there. You know what I mean? There's no distancing to it. Yeah, if the where I
Unless the only loophole like might be like you have to have like been there before maybe to be able to get there.
See, because
Or like you have to at least be able to like have a visual, or like you see a picture of like an area and be like, okay, like,
that's
and then like it goes to a map, like you Google Earth
that's
a place.
jumper, right?
Like you Google Earth somewhere and you're like, okay, now that I've seen where it is like on a map, like I know, and I'm here in this map, I know like how I have to like.
There's Nightcrawler teleportation, where Nightcrawler's abilities was at first it could only be as far as he could see, right?
Yeah, he had to actually be able to see.
Yeah, he had to see where he was teleporting, right? Or be able to see it through time and space, like in his visual mind through imagination, right? But at first, it's he there's a episode in like X-Men animated series or whatever, like the 2003 version one, where he's literally teleporting across the ocean, right? From across the ocean, just as far as he can see,
Oh yeah.
right? Little by little.
Because essentially, yeah, he can do that. Like he can sit there and be like, just keep like he can just take himself up in the sky and just be like, all right, no one can see me. I'm just gonna.
like, all right, I'm going a little higher. All right, now I'm going a little lower.
All right, oh, I see. I'm like, oh, I see where I want to go. So now I'm just be like, all right, boom, 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 boom. You don't have to worry about fall damage, anything.
That's tough
fall
though.
damage.
And that after doing that, I think like a throwaway gag later on in one of the other episodes was he tries to get them out of safety and he teleports them into the middle of the fucking ocean. He's like, Kurt, why did you bring us here? And he's like, this is the only place I can think of where they wouldn't be able to reach us. And this is like it's the fucking middle of the ocean because he can imagine it in his mind's eye because that's all he was fucking thinking of and seeing for fucking miles. But he's like, shit. I think they do swim up to an island. It's close to an island or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere. Good shit. I fucking love X-Men shit. Nightcrawler's so sick.
He's always been a favorite.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that he's coming back for the new Avengers thing.
I heard.
Is that one guy?
Yeah, Alan Cummings.
Yep.
Yeah, that made me psyched to see. I was like, okay. I was like, this could be interesting. This could get good.
Dude, his nails and then his teeth that they zoomed in on in the fucking
And like all like the carving shit on him.
Spy Kids. That's Floop from Spy Kids.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I watched a lot of Spy Kids as a kid for shit.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that in theaters.
Dude, we still don't.
Yeah, I saw the first one and Spy Kids 3D in theaters.
I saw Spy Kids 3D in theaters. I thought that was pretty cool as a kid.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was one of like the first or like earliest 3D movies I feel like I remember seeing as a kid.
The red and blue.
Yeah, it was still the little cardboard red and blues.
give you headaches the entire time.
Oh
Uh,
god.
I also remember that was one of the first DVDs I had for a portable DVD player, right? And then the DVD came with 2 pairs of the 3D glasses, and me and my brother watched 3D Spy Kids 3D on a portable DVD player with 3D glasses on like a road trip one time. Yeah,
I had a I'd gotten for Christmas after like it all came out, like the Shrek trilogy, but
Uh-huh.
they like it was like a little box set, but it came with an extra like a Shrek 3D movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it
I
came
remember
with a couple
seeing that.
glasses, but I would take that same shit on like my little portable fucking DVD player. I take it on like school field trips, all that shit, like all the time.
Then we had a van. We had a van that had the DVD player that came down, and I remember I was like, actually, this is pretty cool being able to sit right here in my seat and then seeing the 3D come from like the top there.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was like portable devices before portable devices. Those were legitness if you had a portable DVD player. That's fucking sick, bro. Marco wants to hold hands. So what the fuck?
He's always trying to hold hands with us all the time over here.
Yeah,
man.
you should
like,
see him off the cast.
like, yo, bro, you don't have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to literally kind of slap it away sometimes. We're like, yeah, well, no, not right
He's
now.
always like, yo, there's something in my hand. Can you get it out? And he's like,
He's like,
hold it.
Uh,
You're about to hold my shit.
I was gonna say, we're talking about the DVDs. I like you got tournament. The DVDs.
Yeah. The portable DVD players.
What DVD players? I have
3D
mine,
with the
mine
3D
had a setting where you could choose where if you closed it, it didn't actually pause or sleep the thing. So my portable DVD player was also
So you got like
a CD. Yeah, it was
like
also a
CD.
CD player, right?
Oh,
Like an audiobook, like I could just listen to the movie.
See, if I had the DVD, if I had a movie playing, if I shut mine, it would stop the movie. But if I had a CD in there, it would play the CD.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
it registered the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
But at that point, I usually still carry my my Walkman with me.
Oh yeah, the
I still have my CD player.
bro, if I was my age or like
Bullshit.
if I was a high schooler when that was popping out, I'd be like, Mom, I need this so I could just pull up on people and just like I could just pull up with DVDs. And if I was a skater, pull up with skate DVDs and be like, yo, look my new part. Check out this. I did a backside flip right here type shit. You know what I mean?
Type shit.
Type shit.
football highlight.
Ah ha 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 ha. What the frick?
Is that Frankenstein?
Who is laughing at us? Can't believe you would laugh at us
Yeah.
for trying to hold hands. No, you asked. Nah, man.
Yeah, that's always the excuse, Marco.
You're trying to get these meat logs over
We
here.
don't even have the mics, and then we're all podcasting. So, I'm trying to reach for the mic, bro.
Yeah. Yo,
Or it's, I was trying to reach for the joint, bro. We're passing the bomb.
stop grabbing my hand, Marco. Marco, stop grabbing my hand. Marco, stop grabbing my hand.
He said something.
Grab the lighter. Grab the lighter. Grab that lighter. Like you never grab no lighter. Y'all were rich. I didn't have any of that. Y'all were rich? I ain't rich.
I don't know any of that.
I will.
Yeah, I wish I could be rich.
Bro, every day.
I wish I was rich. I could get a couple fish.
Honestly, if I ever hit the lottery, okay, where I should rephrase this. I'm definitely negative with the California State Lottery and like Mega Ball and like whatever the fuck and Powerball and shit. Definitely in the negative. Probably about maybe like probably gonna say 250 after the all the money that I put into it over the years. But if I win that 90 million, it'll get I'll pay out, so it don't matter. And I'm willing to play for a lot longer. And I only get like 5 lines of the Powerball or the Mega Millions at a time, but. I'm waiting. I'm hoping.
I should go for more shots at the Powerball. All I do is really scratchers.
I feel like the numbers that they give you from the auto generated shit when you just ask for 5 lines and you're like 5 lines please of like mega millions or whatever. The ones that they give you are bullshit, bro. The line you need to pick your own numbers, I feel.
She said he will always start by touching your hand with his pinky to test the waters. Babe, don't give away my secrets. Come on. Okay? You don't give away how I put on the
Hit him with the
Yeah.
pinky, hit him with a
She said I didn't have a portable DVD player.
You were
No, but you had a computer pretty early on, I think, right? I had a computer pretty early on too.
Yeah.
Way earlier than it should
I
have.
never got my own computer. It was always a family computer that I would end up destroying.
Yeah, I had a.
Good old line.
I was a very privileged child living on an Air Force base with all the nicest the PS2, the Xbox, and the GameCube. Yeah, yeah.
I had look.
Some GameCube, and then I had like a Super Nintendo.
I'm not gonna lie.
Had that
At
too.
6 years old, I had a computer and a Sega Dreamcast in my room.
I never had a Dreamcast.
Dude.
I just Sega Genesis stuff.
To go back to those days.
To go back to those days,
Didn't have to pay rent.
yeah. To play
Not having to pay rent.
Bug World on my Macintosh, bro.
Jeez.
To play Pro Mag Rally. You guys ever play that?
Chromag, I'm weak.
The OG Doom.
Ew,
OG
that's
Doom.
gross.
Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Marvel versus
Girl Mega Man X. That was not one of the things.
Mega Man X.
Especially my Super Nintendo was Mega
She said-
X2 and X3.
She said she was 13 when she bought it. Oh,
I'm gonna have like emulators on
Bro, I was 13. Just bought it.
that my brother would download to play
Yeah.
all types of shit.
dude, I love emulators because I was like 14 when I got in that crowd. I had all my ROMs and the whole Game Boy emulator,
ROMs.
Nintendo 64, and I think even up to GameCube. It was, like on flash drive, I had that shit, right? Where you could just go ahead and upload it to any computer, and you could just go ahead and try to see if that computer could run each and every one. And I was like, dude, this is fucking sick. Those were the days. Them days.
Them days are over. The days of $2 gas.
The dog days are over.
Who sings that?
Florence.
And the machine.
No, not Florence.
Yeah, we should keep it that way.
I don't really know that song was.
That was actually hilarious. I cannot lie. Him singing that
I'm gonna
made me want to scream. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna hang Logan out off cam.
I'm gonna
Newsom.
You can't even dead it. No, you actually can't dead hang. I'll give that to you. You've improved a lot on that, buddy. Your forearm strength is getting there. He tries flexing. He's like, I don't know how to do it.
No, I do enjoy. Yeah.
There we go. Got some guns.
I'm gonna sing about it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy going to the gym. It's a new part of my routine that makes me feel good about myself, and that's all you need.
It made me feel good about myself.
It makes me feel good.
That is all you need, honestly. As long as it fits within your schedule and it makes you not feel like shit, then keep doing it. I think, reminiscing about our youth. No,
My watch is telling me to take a walk, so we're gonna wrap this up in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get our closing thoughts out. Chris, what do you think of raspberry iced tea?
justice for lotion. It's pronounced LaShawn.
Let's see, raspberry iced tea. It ain't that bad. I guess it really just depends on like how you make it.
LaShawn is innocent. Damn right, I'm innocent. Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, I guess like I don't know. I'm a hit or miss with it.
Raspberry iced tea.
Yeah, it depends on the brand. Because there's been some that's too shit and like it's too sugary. Like I feel like Brisk.
Ooh, I love Brisk.
I do love Brisk, just iced tea in general, but I feel like the flavored ones are a little bit too much when they try to do like the raspberry ones or peach.
LaShawn didn't do it, by the way.
I feel like Snapple has a pretty good one. Oh, I fuck with Arizona all day long. Everything Arizona.
Yeah, I used to love.
I love the watermelon one.
raspberry Arizonas. I still do. I just don't drink them as much anymore. There's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, I would get that watermelon Arizona.
I haven't had an Arizona in a while, but one of my favorite ones were the mango and the cherry soda limeade ones, right? So like they had some fizz to it, and damn, I would fucking
Little
slam those
fizzness?
down. Yeah, a little fizzy in there, bro. A little bit of fizzle gig. Where you at, bro?
Yeah,
Speaking
fizz.
of fizz, where you at?
Science.
Why you doxing motherfuckers?
Where's that?
Fuck
What
it.
I mean, but there's probably
Street.
there's multiple,
Yeah.
probably many states.
Industry.
Yeah. The lemon heights
motherfucker.
brisk is good.
That's crazy. Wait, good thing I didn't have that.
Yeah, you didn't have the mic. You Doxinaz lotion.
Yeah.
The raspberry is super sweet. All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you, Babe, for joining us tonight. Thank you,
Yeah,
Daphne.
thanks for
Thank you,
coming
All
through.
Gas No Break, All Gas No Breaks. Don't forget to like, comment,
Appreciate
and
y'all.
subscribe. Check out the new game, Schedule One, on Steam, where you get to go ahead and um, pretend to be or go ahead and play as your.
Become your own drug kingpin,
There you go. Play as your own drug kingpin.
your own drug lord in suburbia.
Don't forget to check out Talking High Culture on Instagram and our YouTube. Check out our latest reel.
Leave us some comments if you guys have any topics or anything you guys want us to cover, or like any ideas for any topic, or like like news articles, skits, anything like that. Like we're always open to ideas.
Don't forget to smoke your marijuanas. Like, comment, and subscribe. THC. It's in the game.
Later, y'all.